Are live. Hey there, I am delighted to be live with you. I want to talk today. I want to share some things with you today and my good friend Kristin about this very thing. There's an exhausted marketing rule out there that says, give away the what and the why, but hide the how. I absolutely hate that. And we're not here to hide any how. We're here to uncover the how for you. And we're going to talk about what's happening for us, what's working for us on Substack. And as we talk about what's going on, we're going to do kind of an audit on what Kristin is doing on her show or on Substack. Well, and maybe even on her podcast. And we're taking your questions. So, what questions do you have? So, the entire time we're connected here live, drop your questions in the chat and we will answer them as we go or at the end of our time together, depending on how well I can keep track of the chat. Uh, Listen, inside the virtual podcast school, I don't gatekeep the how. I give the frameworks away for free, and clients invest with me for the nuance, the strategy, and the application. Hey there, I'm Jen Rogers, host of the Substack Podcast Studio. My brand new podcast episodes 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 are out. Loving it. And I'm also founder of the Virtual Podcast School. Drop a hello in the chat. We would love to welcome you here. Today, I'm joined by Kristin Dronchi from Business by God's Design. Love it. To audit how she's utilizing paywalls and subscriptions on Substack to grow her business and teach others how to do the same. So we're going to dissect pricing, her intellectual property. We're going to show how to establish boundaries that work for our businesses. And we're going to, again, invite you to consider how they apply to you. Both Kristin and I believe Substack and podcasting are key parts of your ecosystem for building trust, engaging with followers, growing your subscriber count on Substack, and generating sustainable growing profits in your business. Kristin, your brand name, Business by God's Design. It's not just a title. I know you. We've worked together before. It's a core conviction. When someone meets you for the first time, how do you describe the mission behind your conviction? And whose business are you actively trying to disrupt and transform?
Thank you, Jennifer. I appreciate being here. So, oh my goodness, I love that question. Yeah. So, whose business am I trying to disrupt and transform? Well, I wholeheartedly believe if you are a kingdom woman who is called to the online business marketplace, that you and your business are called to disrupt the business of the enemy here on this side of heaven. So if you are called as a kingdom woman, you're called to create kingdom wealth, to give more, bless more, change broken and corrupt systems, and pour into those nonprofits and things you want to see more of on this side of heaven. And it just ignites that fire inside of me to help women extract that movement-based marketing message that not only helps the women they're called to serve, but makes an eternal impact and ripple effect on this side of heaven.
I love it. You are busy on Substack. You made the jump before I did. I didn't come kicking and screaming. I just said, I'm not coming. And then I kept watching people. And I don't know that I share this with you. You were the reason why I took the leap because I saw some of the things that you were doing. So you were the last straw. I said, okay, maybe there's something to it. So I took some time to really think about it and pray about it and talk with my husband about it. And he's the one who said, I think you need to go. So I've been here 2 months. I'm having so stinky much fun. Launched a new podcast, and I'm just loving the environment here. How are you finding Substack?
Oh, yeah, it's a it's a breath of fresh air. It's there's no ew, I have to show up, or ew, I need to go do something. It's like I get to, and it's fun and exciting. And it's where I think our deep thought leadership as kingdom women in the marketplace, we have such depth to us. And on social media, when we bring that depth there, even long posts that I would make or something like that on Facebook, I mean, only 2 to 3% of your people see that thing. And if you say the wrong thing, Zuckface might take you down. So that's why I love Substack, is that our thought leadership and our value, what we bring to this world, we can actually extract that and go deep, and people want that. And it's a different culture over there. It's a culture of, hey, if I want that information, I know that I'm going to be upgrading and pay to get into the subscription tiers. So it's a normal thing over here where that next step is, yeah, I'm going to make an investment, which is what we want our ideal clients to do, because on the other side of that investment is where the transformation happens.
Right. I mean, there are definitely a lot of steps to get there. I remember when you and I were talking and Facebook took everything of yours down, and I just felt my stomach plummet. I thought, oh my word, how do
Mhm.
you come back from that? And you modeled such grace and perseverance in that. And still, would you, how do you, could you even recover from that?
Yeah, so that was in the beginning of 2025. I was heading
Mhm.
into a launch, and it was a 9-day launch that I was hosting, a live launch for 9 days. And about a week before, I was on the launch runway, showing up, adding value, bringing people into the Facebook community where everything was going to be housed. And about a week before that, I got hacked. Everything was taken down. I lost the Facebook community of over 1,000 members, Instagram, every single thing since I started with social media, even the groups that I put together with family that had the first time the baby walked, the first time
Uh,
he did this and this. I knew I shouldn't have put that there, but I was like, I'm going to use it as my virtual baby book, because
uh,
why would I lose anything? I've seen other people lose stuff, but it's not going to happen to me. And sure enough, it did right before a big launch. But it was the biggest launch I had to date at that time, and I had to take a step back at the end of 2025 because 2025 was the best year revenue-wise in my business since I started in 2019, when everyone was,
congratulations.
yeah, thank you. And everyone was saying it's hard, it's the hardest time to have a business right now,
Uh-huh.
but it was the best year. And it that eviction notice that Facebook and or social media gave me, it didn't deter me,
Mm.
because I grew my email list and I really leveraged Kingdom collaborations. So I knew the power of relationships, growing my email list. But I had to take a step back and think about that at the end of
Mhm.
2025. Really sit with that, because it was emotionally detrimental. I mean, I just pushed forward as a business owner, but emotionally it really was draining, and I had to finally sit with that and sit with, wow, I just had the best year ever. And in 2026
Mm.
scheduled now to be almost a six-figure business owner, which is what we all strive for when we first get
Wow.
started. And really what led to that? And it was relationships and
Mhm.
not being a slave to social media.
Mhm. That's a very different way of saying your email list is definitely where your value is, that you need to be nurturing your email list. But it's more than that. And you and I, we know it's more than that.
Mhm.
What else is it to nurture those relationships? What are you doing specifically to stay connected with people? I'll give you a minute to think about that because I want to welcome. Let me see. Let me get by. Let's see. Shia, Annie, Jocelyn, Brenda, Anna, the Sisterhood magazine. Ooh, tell me more about that. What is that, dude? Tell about that. Color me curious. This is why you come to the lives because you get to meet more people. Hey, think about what it is that you're here for. What has you coming here to learn more about paywalls and subscription tiers and how to monetize your podcast? Florence, welcome. Colleen, welcome. Great to have you. Okay. Do you remember what I asked you?
What I'm doing specifically to leverage those relationships and stay in
Yeah.
connection with my people?
Yeah,
Yes.
in addition
So
to the email list, I'm really glad you did.
yeah.
Just full disclosure, it just left my head, so thank God you remembered.
Yes, yes. So, what I did in 2025 was I started to host these things called activation events, which activated my people, which got them off my email list and into a Zoom room. Full disclosure, I
Mm,
did try to build my community again, but it just wasn't the same. And I
mhm.
knew it wasn't the same because people were getting so hungry to get off social media, where it's just entertainment focused. And a lot of my women, they didn't want to be in Facebook communities anymore.
Yeah.
They wanted a room where they could connect. So activating them, getting them off my email list and in front of me in a Zoom where I was adding value, really, like you said, we don't gatekeep anything. We
Right.
give away the steps, we give away the frameworks, and then we ask specific questions that are going to get them to raise their hand and say, yeah, that's me. I want that help. Or yes, I want to take that next step. And when that happened, that allowed me to get into their DMs and just start to have a conversation with them. I call it the be a human first framework. We need to be a human first so people know that we're real people, and we
Yeah.
want to help them, especially in the day and age with AI. We don't know whether
Right.
that was a real video or not. So that's
Yeah.
how I
So
really
good.
started to harness the power of those relationships and just be a human first.
Yeah, it's so funny. So 2020 really shifted everything. And you and I, we have a little of conspiracy realist in us.
Yeah.
We're not going there today, but if you know, you know. What happened in 2020 is we did forget. We forgot how to connect because
Mhm.
we were in an environment with fear and anxiety, and people did not know what was coming next. And now that we know what that feels like, and we have an opportunity to assess how we responded to that. So this is my encouragement to you as a heads up, no matter what's going on in the world, you have to decide what is the call, what is the focus, what is the direction you are moving in. And when you show up as the voice of calm, as the voice of confidence, and the voice of this is the way, walk in it, people will follow you. So there's a lot of stuff happening in the world right now that is no good. Yet there's so much of that that's out of our control. So we need to focus on what is in our control. And this is why Kristen and I originally we were going to record a podcast episode. And because we're just making it up as we go along on Substack, I said, let's go live on Substack. I'm curious if you're here and you've gone live, Colleen, I know you've gone live. I see you. If you've gone live on Substack, drop a live in the chat. Let me know. And if you want practice going live, call me. I'll go live with you. I'll do it because we do want to show up. And maybe by the time I get to future lives, I'm not going to be so yellow or orange. I was telling Kristen, I don't know what happened to my camera and my colors. Yeah, Colleen's gone live. And I saw that it was really, really a great live. Hey, Kristen, you mentioned something. I'm looking at it right now. The Substack is the vehicle. Your business by God's design is the destination. So the trust pathway to consistent revenue. What is that?
Yes. So when I hopped into Substack, like I said, I absolutely loved it. And I was watching what other people were doing, seeing what was working for them. I'm like, I'm gonna take this and kind of make it my own.
Yeah.
So I put it as the front end of my business and started to figure out how I could pull that thread through to, okay, what are my paid tiers going to be like? But then more importantly, how am I going to get them to inside the Business by God's Design advisory, which is
Mhm.
my high touch, deep support container where I go deep with my women. So much so that I only take 10 at a specific time because they're getting my eyes on their business. They're getting my eyes on like, hey, I sent this DM, human first. What do
Uh-huh.
I say when they respond to this? Because a lot of women I work with, they haven't ever done that before. It was just emails, emails, emails. We think we're going to sell an email. Well, that used to work, but it's not going to work in
Yeah.
2026 and beyond because
Yeah.
you people need to see you're a real person. So
Right.
they don't know how to weave that through and ask. So they get all of me in their business inside the advisory. So I was like, okay, how can I pull that through knowing that I want to use Substack as that trust pathway to get them, and here my lights are going on and off, to get
Mhm.
them to that next step. So
Mhm.
that's why I'm like, hey, Substack is the vehicle that's going to help my clients create the trust to get them into the paid tiers, that easy yes offer, that no brainer, like, yes, I need this, where we're going to add massive value because once again, we don't gatekeep. We're going to add massive value and continue to pull that thread all the way to our mid or high tickets. So
Yeah.
that's where I was like, Substack is the vehicle. The Business by God's Design is the destination because my women want a business that's by God's design, one
Uh-huh.
that's profitable, impactful, and sustainable, one that creates consistent reoccurring revenue.
Yeah.
So that's how I coined that. Substack's the vehicle and your destination is your business by God's design.
Yeah, that's really good. So I'm curious, for you watching the live or the replay, what is your business? What is the business outcome? So you think about the front end. If you're looking at, okay, I'm going to use Substack and I'm going to
Mhm.
use the free and paid tiers. How come? What is that for? William, welcome. Anybody else pop on here late? Later. I think we're still good. So glad that you're saying, say hello in the chat. Let us know that you're here. Tell us where you're tuning in from. We are doing a live audit on how Substack is working for us. So we're evaluating the subscription tiers right now. And the question that I asked you to think about to drop in the chat is, what is that final transformation? Kristin did a great job in sharing the final transformation for her ideal clients once they get to know her and she's acting like a human and having real conversations and they're going deeper one step at a time. What is the final outcome that your client gets? For me, when I think about it, it's so much more than having a podcast that is monetized. It's actually not resenting your podcast when you record episodes. It's making money from your podcast, but it's enjoying the process and it's understanding that your podcast is a part of your whole content production, that you're not just doing a podcast after the fact. It's actually driving a lot of your content. And in the end, it saves you time. So if you want to spend even less time in your business, podcasting is a way when you already have a proven offer. So if you're a brand spanking new entrepreneur, podcasting is not my initial recommendation because you're still trying to figure out what your offer is. And if you don't know what your offer is, or if you know, but it's not proven, as in you don't have enough people buying it, it's not a proven offer yet. You need a proven offer in order to put your podcast together. Now, if you have started a podcast, you say, Jen, I don't have a proven offer. Totally cool. I've got you. Then you can have your call to action on your show be that they book a consult with you, because that's how you're going to grow your business, by having those conversations with people. It's going to be harder to do it that way. It's going to take you longer to monetize your podcast because that's just how it goes. I'm just telling you how it is. That's how it is. So, how about for you? What is the outcome that your ideal clients are going to get when they make it through your journey? And then think about, how are you leveraging Substack to do that? So, Kristin, let's talk about your tiers. Can
Mhm.
we go there? I'm
Yeah.
free. What is it that has me saying, okay, yep, I'm going to subscribe? What do you think's going on there?
Okay. Well, like you said in the beginning, we're both learning Substack, we're testing, and that's what business is all about, just testing and learning. And when I first started, I was like, okay, I'm going to help women extract their movement-based marketing message, because for me, we don't niche down. I found that so many of my women get stuck in this niching down thing, and it held me back in the beginning. Am I niched enough? Did I find that blue ocean or I'm in the red ocean, right? I think Russell Brunson coined that. Find your blue ocean.
Right,
So I
right.
was constantly trying to find my blue ocean and I'm like never getting anywhere. And finally, one day the Lord was just like, your convictions, who I made you to be. And I don't even think it was the word conviction at the time. It was like that movement that I'm asking you to create, that eternal ripple effect. I'm like, that's it. And I got to the point of where I had this Holy Spirit fire of anger inside of me about certain things and a Holy Spirit fire of passion. And I'm
Mhm.
like, that's it. I can help people extract that out. Within 30 minutes of talking to someone, I can hear that. I'm like, that's it. I'm like, let's hone in on that. That's your movement based marketing message, your why plus God's why, and the eternal impact and what you're called to do and how He created you to do it. Let's tap into that and your people show up. That's what I started first within the paid tiers. And then, like I said, we got into more of, all right, well, for me, I want to get them in there and then pull them into my Business by God's Design advisory. And more of my clients were asking me, how do I do that? What about Substack? What is Substack? I haven't heard of Substack. I'm like, why don't I just teach them what I'm doing? Why don't I co-create with them and teach them that? So then my tiers kind of turned into, I'll help you position your Substack so that you can use it as a trust pathway. So for me, the incentive of getting in is they get the movement-based marketing message, my framework on how to extract their movement, and then they also get how to use that to position their Substack as the front end pathway to their mid or high ticket offers. So that's what I've been doing. And the incentive to join, I give away highly valuable free resources that are normally paid for inside of that. And then they get an audit with me at a special discount.
Okay, cool. Let's see. Florence says, tuning in from Michigan. Hello, Michigan. It's
Hi, I'm
sunshiny
from
here. Wait,
Michigan
you're in Michigan
too.
too. Great.
Yeah. Hi,
That's
Florence.
right.
What's
The
up?
final outcome is my subscribers are inspired to become their truest self, but I don't know how to monetize that. Yeah. So, Florence, I'll say, I'm not sure what that means. I understand the words, the vocabulary, but there's not enough for me to sink my teeth into to know, okay, what does my truest self look like? We can do a little work around that. We definitely can. We can have a conversation in the DMs about that. You can connect with either me or Kristen or both of us. Can we do it? Can you do a DM where you invite private DM where you invite more than one
No,
person?
I have no idea.
Okay,
We
well,
should
we'll find that out.
try.
Florence, will you find that out for us?
Yes.
Message us. See if you can message us simultaneously, and we'll ask you really good coaching questions to help
Mhm.
you get to the point where you understand how you can monetize it. But right now, the way it stands, you're probably not gonna monetize it, very quickly. That being said, we know the Lord can do all kinds of incredible things,
Yes.
but it's gonna help you a lot more when you're more clear about what that transformation is.
Mhm.
So if you think about the pain points that your clients have, those are the things that you wanna address in your offers or in your subscription tiers, that sort of thing. So, gosh, I was gonna ask you something. Oh, yes, your tiers. So, right now, I'm just gonna say this the way I show up. They're dirt cheap.
Oh,
They're
yes, they
dirt
are.
cheap.
So, I even told my clients that the other day when I was showing behind the scenes, I'm like, "Don't pay attention to my pricing, I need to change that." I'm so busy, like, helping them
Yeah.
that's what sometimes that we just our stuff gets put on the back burner. But how I started it, because I was like, "I don't even know. Like, what am I doing here? How is this even gonna work?" So I started it at $5 for founding members, and I think it was, 50 set 5 and 50 for the year or something like that. And you
Uh-huh.
know what? I said, "You know what? I'm just gonna try this." So I hosted an intensive on how to do Substack, and I started promoting it to my email list, and I said, it's $3.97. You're gonna be able to get this, with a $100 coupon. So paid members of the Kingdom Lens will get a $100 coupon for this 3-day intensive, and, come subscribe as an annual member and get this coupon. So I'm like, "What, 50? You get 100. Why not?"
Right.
And it went crazy. It was crazy enough to bump me up within 2 weeks of starting Substack to number 69 rising in business in my category,
Oh, yeah, I
and then
remember
number
that.
yeah, and then number 21 rising in business.
Wow,
So I
love
stayed
it.
there for a good couple weeks because I was promoting this and bringing people in. So that's kind of what I teach my clients to do too, whether they're doing a beta founding member program or they're launching a next offer, incentivize to come into your Substack and subscribe. So that's where I started. And then I said, all right, it's going up to $7 and then $57. And that's kind of where I left it because I've been busy with my people delivering on the products and things like that. But yes, I definitely need to increase that. But that is a tip that you guys can use. Go take and run with that. Think of what you're launching or what you want to get
Mhm.
people in, but have them come into that trust pathway, that paid tier and Substack, because that's going to boost you up in your category on Substack. And then Substack does what Substack does. When you're rising in business or a bestseller, they're going to push you out to other people in that category.
Yeah. If you wanna be a bestseller on Substack, drop bestseller in the chat. I'm dropping that in there.
Yeah,
Bestseller.
me too. I want to get there.
I definitely do. So I don't have paid tiers yet, and I just have to say, I was going to release them. So I did a podcast episode and I said, "Okay, next week I'm releasing paid tiers." And I couldn't do it 'cause I wasn't ready. So I've been methodical about the paid tiers. Everything else on Substack, have just been going for it, but the
Mhm.
tiers, there's something about it, I wanna get it right. I wanna make sure that it makes sense. So I had a call with clients yesterday. Here's what we talked about. I shared them. I said, "Okay, so this is how my brain works." Michelle McCoy, yes, bestseller. Let's do it. Florence, bestseller for sure. I said, if I make my monthly $59 a month and my best or my annual $100,000, then I don't have to commit for a year. Like, if it doesn't go, I mean, maybe somebody will give me $100,000 for the year. That would be cool. I'll meet with you 4 times a month. That would be great. We can talk all kinds of things, strategy. Mary, welcome. Say hello. We were just talking about if we want to become a bestseller on Substack, to drop bestseller in the chat. Maybe that would be a good thing to share. What is a bestseller? So we understand a bestseller on the New York Times, for example. So let's slow the tape down just a little bit and talk about what Substack does when you're rising and how you rise in the charts.
Well, the bestseller, I'm not 1000% on yet. I believe the bestseller badges are based on the number of paid subscribers you
Mhm.
have at that time. And it takes 100, if I remember correctly, 100 paid subscribers to earn that badge.
I think that's
Um,
right. Yeah,
yes.
I'm trying to look it up right now. I think that's right. I remember reading that. Yeah.
Yes, and then I just was helping one of my clients on this the other day, the rising in business. The rising in business is the number of new people you have coming in
Okay.
and be one of the fastest growing in that category during a specific time.
Yeah.
So for my primary category settings business, so that's a chart I'm going to appear on. And then the recent momentum, if you have an influx of momentum, it's not total size, it's the new growth that keeps
Yeah.
coming in. So that can fluctuate. Just the other day, I was back to number 95 rising in business because I had an
Uh-huh.
influx of new people. So that you can always keep going up and down, up and down.
Yeah.
And I think bestseller, once you have that badge, you always have that badge.
Yeah, so a white badge, it's hundreds, an orange badge is thousands, and if you're purple, you have tens of thousands of paid subscribers.
Ooh.
Okay, just for funsies, in the chat, what the heck would do with tens of thousands of paid subscribers? They must be getting courses or something. I mean, how big of a Zoom room do you need to have tens of thousands of
Really?
paid subscribers? I
Yeah.
don't know. I mean, I do like purple. Orange
Yeah.
is my favorite color, though.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
well, one of my
Well,
favorite colors
and we
to
have
have.
to remember too that the paid subscribers are the paid subscribers on Substack, right?
Yeah.
So it's not necessarily like in your mid or high ticket. It's the on Substack.
Right, only
So
Substack,
yeah.
that's what we're talking about, that's
Yeah.
right, in the subscription tiers. So Anna wants to be a bestseller, Braylon wants to be a bestseller, yes,
Mhm.
lots of bestsellers. So if you put bestseller in the chat, then you've gotta figure out, well, how do I get there?
Mhm.
How do I get there? So you need to run some sort of campaign, you need to jazz it up a little bit, and I know Kristin is really good at that. So you heard me say that her subscription is dirt cheap, so she's gonna raise the price. You have a
Yes.
date? Give us a date. When are you gonna raise it? Let's commit. Can I get you on to commit
Oh,
here?
yeah. Oh, yeah.
We're gonna
We'll
create
say, uh,
s
May 20th. That gives
May
me a
20th.
week.
Okay.
Mhm.
All right, May 20th. So you have until May 20th. So, the Sisterhood
That just
Magazine,
keeps me in integrity with
bestsellers.
my email list too.
Yeah, yeah, I like that, I like that. We need to set deadlines. We do,
Mhm.
otherwise it's just something that it's just gonna happen, and, it's easy to forget some things. So to become a bestseller, we must be strategic and curious, and that means that we're gonna make a ton of mistakes. W What would you say is one of the biggest mistakes you've experienced in your business? Substack or no?
Ooh. Um, well, I have to think about that because mistakes to me are just stepping stones of learning. So I don't think of them as like mistakes. So I would say to me, like the biggest mistake I think that I made was not putting myself out there sooner, not going live
Oh,
sooner, not doing the things sooner in my business. I started in 2019. So I was building in 2020. That was when the huge influx of people came in the online space, and a lot
Right.
of people became multimillionaires just from showing up and providing like even value. So if
Timing.
I would
Yeah.
have actually put myself out there and went live and did the thing, then I would have been a lot further along. Instead, I hid behind an email list, hid behind like, ooh, what are people going to think of me? Because it's
Yeah.
entrepreneurship is personal development, and sometimes it takes a lot longer. But yeah, I think that was the biggest mistake I'd say is not doing the thing soon
Mhm.
enough and staying in student mode.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I know about that. Definitely staying in student mode. Okay, Michelle, can you have a group on Substack, even in a chat format? So I don't know all about the different chats. And my understanding right now, Michelle, is that when I have a chat, I have to decide if it's open to everybody or is subscribers only or paid subscribers.
Mhm.
So I don't think you can have more than one. Is that right? Do you know, Kristen?
Well, you have your publication chat, right?
Right.
And your publication chat, like Jen said, can be set to public or private. And even if you set to public, if you put a thread in there, you can change that specific thread that only paid subscribers see that specific thread. Because when I did, like, hey, if you're a paid member, you get this coupon code, I throw that coupon code in my chat and I tell them, go find it in the chat or DM me if you can't. But it's behind the paid wall in the chat, and only paid subscribers can see here's the launch, here's the coupon code. So you can set that up that way. But
Okay. And
no, oh, go ahead.
oh, I was going to say, so I'm doing it. So one thing I appreciate about Substack is their help is really good.
Yeah.
And so I just put the link in there to help answer that question too. So here's the
Mhm.
thing, Kristen and I aren't going to snow you and make stuff up. We don't know what we don't know
Yeah.
yet, but we're willing to figure it out. So
Yeah.
your questions help us as well. All right, Faith Binds Us, welcome. We are doing an audit of what the heck Kristen is doing on Substack, and I'm sharing a little bit about what I'm doing as well. Obviously, we do not want to exhaust ourselves on social media. And it's so true. So many people are just leaving. And whenever and notice I'm making a distinction here that Substack to me is not social media. Like this is such a good time for me. I don't resent anything about Substack. And the other socials I did, I was feeling like I have to show up. What is the thing on LinkedIn? What is the golden hour, whatever? You've got to be on an hour after you post your post. And I thought, oh my gosh. And then you've got to do all this stuff. And I don't like being bossed around that much. I'm just keeping it real.
Who has the
I don't
time
really
to
like
be
that.
on it?
And it's just not how I wanted to wake up and start my day. And so now, uh, what's really interesting is let's see, I'm gonna have to see if I can find it here. But I schedule my notes, not all of them, but most of them, and I'm really enjoying that because it just makes it so much easier for me to know that my notes are done, and when I go in, I don't feel any pressure when I'm on Substack.
Mhm.
I'm curious to know what your favorite thing is about Substack. You wanna drop it in the chat? What's your favorite thing about Substack? And Kristen, I want you to tell us about let's see, where are my notes? Let me look. Let me get this right. Oh, yes. So, you bought a school bus and you transformed it into a bum bum bum, a NASCAR party bus. What the heck? What happened?
Oh, that's funny. Well, well, goodness, it shows you that rebel in me, I guess you could say, that one that disrupts the status quo, I guess. So I love NASCAR. Ever since growing up on Sundays, I'd come home and I'd watch those cars go in a circle. It was just something that I did every Sunday and as a child. And I just loved it. There's just something about it. I grew up on a farm. I'm a country girl, a redneck, I guess you could say that as well. And I loved watching dirt track racing and things like that. And I went through so goodness gracious. I I went to a race and I saw that everyone had these NASCAR or these old school buses, inside the middle of a NASCAR race, inside the middle or at the campground. I'm like, I'm going to do that. And I set my mind to do it. And there was a school that was auctioning off school buses, and I grabbed one for, I thought it was kind of cheap. And then I kind of was second guessing. I'm like, I don't know if I want that. Go to the next bidder. And they laughed at me and they're like, you're the only bidder. You're taking the bus. Come get the bus. Okay. So yeah, I gutted it, had my dad's help, and I transformed it into a NASCAR bus. And I needed someone to paint it because you're not allowed to have yellow buses. It needed to be something different, a different color. So that's how I met my husband. He painted the bus for me, and the rest is history.
I love it. I love it. Oh my gosh, so good. I have never bought a bus. Have you ever bought a bus?
You can get them really cheap.
Okay, let me see if my eyes are right. So, Fatima, you're saying scheduling notes and posts, that's a bit of wait, did I ask what you're loving? So you're loving that, and Florence is the community, and the Sisterhood magazine is love the community and restacking. Ooh, tell me more about restacking. You love being restacked, or you love restacking other people? I love both.
Yeah,
I think
it's
it's
fun.
really good. Who's restacking their own notes? Are you restacking your own notes?
Mhm. Not
Yeah.
my own notes. I'm restacking my own quotes from articles or posts that I write. I'll restack that and maybe have a different point of view on it when I write the note, but I'll restack my own quotes and things.
Gotcha. Gotcha. Really good. Really good. That's wonderful. Okay. Share a little bit about your podcast. What's happening right now with your podcast, and how are you using it to tie into what you're doing on Substack?
Okay. Well, I have the Kingdom Business Revolution podcast because my women are revolutionaries. We are here to disrupt and wreak havoc on the enemy of this world with our business by God's design. So, my podcast, I just recently moved it over to Substack. I was hesitant at first because I didn't know how it worked. I think that's our brain kind of keeping us safe from not stepping into new territory. I'm like, I don't know if
Right.
I want to do that or not. But it's been absolutely amazing. It took about an hour and a half process down to maybe 30 minutes now in Substack, because once I record, I can create a little blip, the show notes there, and push a button, and it goes everywhere now. So I love it.
Ah, gotcha. Gotcha. That's really good. Really good. I am learning to what I want to restack. I just learned, I said, where do people get the color in the background and the words on there? How are they making that? Are they making that in Canva? And then I figured it out, so
Yeah.
that you go to a piece, and I'm learning to take a smaller chunk of it, not
Yep.
such a big piece of it, to take a smaller chunk, you select it, and then you can restack that with or without a note. And it's so good. And I know Anna and I have been working on this together, as she's been really diving into Substack. And I said, hey, Anna, when you're restacking a note or you're commenting, make sure you say something other than love this post.
Yeah.
And there's a dual purpose for that. One, it's encouraging the person who's creating the note or the post, but the other is that you're showcasing your thinking as well. And
Mhm.
so if you're commenting on something that is collaborative to what you do, then the people who follow that other person, they are going to check you out, and they're going
Mhm.
to be interested in what you're doing as well. So there's a little bit of a conversation going on in my Substack feed. I'm not sure if it's happening in yours, about let's get rid of the like button, because it's so easy just to go through and like instead of comment. So I'm not fully there yet. I'm almost there, in that I don't let myself hit the like button until after I comment. I'm not quite there. So just so you know, if I've liked your post and not commented, I'm working on it. Definitely working on it. Hey, Jan, welcome. Jane, not Jan, Jane. Rachel, wow, that's cool with podcasts. Yes. And Anna, restacking is amazing. If you don't know Anna, so here's a great thing. Here's another reason why you come live, because you're going to meet people in the chat as they're talking that you may want to connect with. So you can just click on their name and you can follow them or subscribe to them right away. And then you can follow up with them as well. I don't know if you can chat when you click on them. I guess I know how to find out. Yeah. Yeah. I don't. Oh, the three dots. Let's see. Oh, visit profile. invite to stream, or ban from commenting. All right, y'all behave. I can ban you from commenting, evidently. I have more power pellets than what I knew I had. Okay, let's talk just a little bit about moving your podcast over to Substack. The link I shared earlier about Substack Help, again, it's really good. It will walk you through how to move
Mhm,
your Substack, how to move your podcast over to Substack.
mhm.
You just have to decide if that's the right thing for you to do. And I can't quite remember if I did a podcast episode about this. A lot. I don't remember what I did, but I did talk about it in the sense of it's a business decision for you. If it makes sense for you to move your podcast over to Substack, uh, you'll need a little bit of time, maybe 30 minutes to go through the steps because you want to make sure you redirect. So think about when you're driving on the road and you see the infamous detour sign. First, you groan, and then you realize, well, I can't go where the bridge is out. So I've got to go around. So you're being redirected. You're going to get to the same place. And that's what happens when you move your podcast. You're telling your old host, like Buzzsprout or Lipson, hey, I need to redirect you over here, and then it goes to Substack. And
Mhm.
then whenever you release new episodes, you drop those new episodes on Substack. So it's not hard to do. It's just one of those pain in the butt things that it just there's no profit in it right when you do it. Okay, so we don't like that part, but it is something. So you can decide why would you move to Substack? Well, you don't really care about the marketing analytics. So you're not interested in proving to somebody, hey, I have this many downloads or this many listen throughs because I'm not interested in sponsorships and marketing. And in fact, that's what I teach. I teach uh, sell your own stuff. Don't sell
Yeah.
somebody else's stuff on your podcast. Why would you give your best real estate away? Sell your own stuff. So rule number, I don't know what it is of podcasting. I know rule number 1 of podcasting is don't be boring, but I think that might be rule number 8 or 9, sell your own stuff.
Mhm.
Okay, Anna says I've already followed a few people. Yeah, Anna, listen, if you don't know Anna, she's great. So many great people here that I know in the chat. I am delighted that you are here for my live number 2. So, Kristin, how many lives have you done? You've done what, 7 or 8, 9?
Yeah, maybe around then. Yeah. Mhm.
Okay.
I
Okay.
haven't done one like this yet, and I need to. I love collaborations. I love collaborating. So it's the next step, right? Because I'm learning, I'm going. Right
Yeah.
now, I have that collaboration, the Kingdom Gala that I'm putting together. That those that have Substack, let me know if you want to host or participate in the Kingdom Gala because you can throw a free resource in, grow your Substack, grow your email list. So right now I'm
Yeah.
doing that, and then the next step will be interview series, something like this.
Okay, so the first thing I'm gonna ask you to do is drop in Gala if you wanna know more about the Kingdom Gala. So Gala Gala. And I dropped podcaster in, the chat because I had it in my head, but I didn't say it out loud. If you have a podcast, drop podcaster or, better yet, drop the name of your podcast in the chat. Okay, so the Sisterhood Magazine Gala. Yeah, listen, so I worked with, Kristin, I don't know, 2 years ago, something. So she did a collaborative effort, and she's Johnny on it. Let me tell you, I would love for her to come clean my house because I know it would be stellar clean. Well,
No.
if you clean a house the way that you do your collaborations, my gosh,
My
and,
husband would love that too, but no, I am not a cleaner.
not a cleaner. This is why we need to make more money with our podcast and our businesses,
Yes,
so
yes,
we can
yes.
hire cleaners, right? Okay,
Yes.
definitely, and that's the link, so Kristin put it in the chat too, as far as if you wanna click on the link. Anna's the host of Honest Christian Conversations. If Colleen is still here, she's in the process of launching her podcast, and if you are interested in book writing and getting your book published, oh my gosh, definitely connect with Colleen. And in fact, if you wanna drop in 3 words or less what you do, put that in the chat so people can see. So in 3 words or less, drop what you do so people know if they wanna connect with you. Okay, so Colleen is Book Hatchery Campus Radio. I know, I just love that. Rachel says podcast launching called Raining. Okay, Reigning. Okay, Rachel, are we connected? I think we are. we should be connected. If we're not, we definitely need to talk. I can help you. Help you with your podcast. I love podcasting. Podcasting is incredible, and you get to show up in a way that well, just like when you come live, you get to show up in a way that is all you, and again, letting people get to know what makes you you. Okay, the Sisterhood magazine says I publish a magazine. Well, of course you do. Let's talk about that magazine. I think I might want to be in that magazine. Okay, hey Cindy Baker, welcome, welcome, welcome. We are doing a live audit of what's working on Substack. What's not working, Kristin? What would you say? Have you found something that's not working for you?
The only thing that I wish Substack would do better is community, like a group, your
Ah,
community there, kind of like Facebook communities, because it is important. Going live and having a community is important for 2026 and beyond, once again, because we don't know what's real or fake out there. So I do wish they would do that better. But honestly, that's the only thing right now. They're always growing and changing. They
yeah.
have done so much even since I first hopped on. I think now there's email automations for those that subscribe, automatically get an email sent to those subscribers, whether free or paid. So they're seeing the change. They're seeing the new era and how business owners that have true thought leadership are coming on here to monetize Substack. So they themselves say that Substack is no longer just a newsletter platform, and those that
Mhm.
understand that sooner than later are going to be a lot further ahead.
Yeah, I'll share that in the first 2 months, so I'm in the beginning of my 3rd month now on Substack as of the 9th of this month. I earned $6,000 on Substack, and I don't have subscriptions yet, but it's through the connections and the conversations, and
Mhm.
it's not that I wasn't not trying, but I wasn't that wasn't my goal. My goal was getting things set up and establishing connections and figuring out
Mhm.
how this worked, and through that process, I earned $6,000.
Yeah.
That was a really nice welcome to Substack. I thought, "Well, that was easy."
Oh
Did
my goodness.
anybody earn $6,000 when they went, 2 months on LinkedIn or Facebook or Instagram?
Mhm. I love that. It tells you when you earn money from your thought leadership, from your posts.
Right, right.
Yeah. And the same thing, like you, that first month of, hey, come join Substack and then come join this thing. I think it was almost close to 1,500 on Substack, but then another 4,500 joining the program. So yeah,
Yeah,
close to $6,000 just like that. It's
yeah,
so easy because people overhear, and then when you activate your email list and the right people come over,
yeah.
they want to invest to move forward.
Yeah, speaking of your email list, so here's something I'm wrestling right now. So I think I have well, as of this morning, I had 130 subscribers. And of course, all free because I don't have my paid tiered yet, but it's coming. uh, but I had 130, and I said, okay, so I have, and I'll send them emails when I release an episode. And I know I have some duplicates. I use Go High Level, which is, as you know, it's just a head scratcher, Go High Level, but I'm in it, I'm doing it, and I'm not moving from that for a little while. So, have you married your Substack list with whatever you're using as your other CRM, or are you using Substack as your main CRM? And if you don't know what CRM means, customer relationship manager, that's where you manage everybody's emails. You might create funnels there, all of that. So, how are you managing? The question is, how are you managing emails on Substack and on the other system that you had before you came to
Mhm.
Substack?
Yeah. So I did not import my subscribers on my email list over to Substack. I started
Okay.
brand new over in Substack. And so what I do is my virtual assistant every Friday, she takes the emails, the new people from Substack and imports them into my CRM, which is Go High Level. And they're tagged because you export as of a spreadsheet. And
Mhm.
then we add the tag Substack and then Substack free subscriber, Substack paid subscriber. So they get
Right.
two tags, Substack and then that.
Mm.
So that's how they're organized. And then when an email goes out for Substack of, hey, here's this new post, here's this new XYZ thing on Substack, then what I'm doing is I am, because my Substack subscribers get that, the free or paid, wherever I choose to send it to. And then what I'm doing is I'm creating a curiosity driven email that goes out
Oh,
to the rest of my email list saying, hey, I just did this thing over here. We talked about XYZ, maybe gave them a few tips, sparked that curiosity. If you want to know more or want this resource or whatever, here's the link. You need to come over to Substack. And then that email
yeah.
goes out to everyone on my email list minus the Substack tags.
Yes, yes. I'm glad I'm not the only one who has trouble with Substack. And my podcast, my new podcast is the Substack Podcast Studio. I use Descript to record. So if you could see all the things I have to line through when I stumble over that word or when I put too many S's together, it's a real challenge for me, but I'm working on it. I'm working through it. So when Kristin and I got together, she said, "How long does this last?" I said, "I don't know, 30, 45 minutes." How are you doing? Are you doing good on time?
Yeah, I'm
Okay.
good. The little one might run up. You might see my little one, but that's okay.
I love it. I love it. Okay, Cindy says I put my Substack addresses in my high level every week.
Mhm.
Okay. Fatima's made $58 since September last year. What did you sell? How did you earn that? I'm curious to know. And Fatima, do you have subscriptions yet? And then Colleen says, I think I've made about $67 so far. Okay. But I haven't tried very hard to monetize it yet. Yeah. And so Colleen and I were together with her podcast, and I know there's a way to incorporate all of the goodness that you do, Colleen. So we'll keep working on that. We're going to figure that out. Definitely some subscription tiers would I think are a potential way for you to go, especially with what you're doing with your business. So she's got one of my favorite things about Colleen is she's got the campus radio, and it just resonates with me. I think the campus radio is so cool, but I love podcasting, so I'm sure that that's what it is. Okay, Fatima's podcast is Lupus in Community, and her purpose is the strength to strengthen the lupus and chronic illness community. Okay, so that they have support. Uh, let's see. Rachel is Sovereign Executive Leadership Coaching. Okay. And Honest is a place for tough conversations. More than 3 words. It's good for honest Christian conversations. Definitely worth a listen to our podcast. If you don't, you can just go and look online for honest Christian conversations. Okay. All right. Kristin, you want to go ahead and drop that link? I'm just scrolling through the chat. Drop that link again for the gala if somebody is interested in the gala.
Yes.
And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to drop this link in for a podcast episode that I think will help you. So you can look at that. And since I put that link, yeah, no, I'm not going to go there. No, I'm not going to go there. That'll be fine. That'll be fine. Okay. I think, let me see. People, if I go away, I don't mean to go away. Oh, add guests. Oh, so I can add somebody. Is there anybody here who wants to come up and chat about their subscriptions? I think I can add one more person. So if you're willing to come online, let's talk about it. Because I mean, a live without participation is boring. So we can't have that. So thank you all so much for participating in the chat too. We definitely want this to be valuable to you. Yeah, Cindy, thanks for joining us, and we will keep up the great work. Anybody want to pop in? You got to tell me in the chat, I think, so I can invite you. Anybody? Hello, hello. Let me look through my questions. Okay, let me ask you this. While people are debating whether or not they like their hairdo before they come on live, for the Christian women entrepreneur who knows she's supposed to move off the noisy platforms and go into something deeper, but she's hesitating over establishing the subscriptions or the paywalls or, oh my gosh, how do I move everything over? What do you want to say to her?
Oh goodness. If you feel the calling that you want to get off the rat race of social media and stop being a slave to social media, then do the thing. Enlist help, enlist support, enlist help from someone who has done the thing. I mean, ever since, and this is nothing new, ever since 2019 when I started my business, I always said a business by God's design without being a slave to social media because I
Mm,
knew that that was not the way to grow. It's not a business growth plan. You can show up and be visible, but it's not the way to grow your business. So if you just do it, ask for help, but also, if you are wondering how you can set up Substack and monetize it and how to position the tiers to be that trust pathway to your mid or high tickets, just message me and we can talk about what the Substack authority and monetization mapping intensive would look like and if it would be a good fit for you.
Yeah, that's really good. Really great advice. We do have to do it. We have to do it scared. We definitely are. I mean, it's something that I was reminded of recently, Kristen, is that when you get to the next level, then you have to address all of that same stuff again, that because you don't know this level. I used to say when I was in corporate, I used to say that if it's really a promotion, you don't know what the heck you're doing. Like if it's a real promotion, you have no freaking clue.
Yep.
And you are just faking it until you make it and you are in there and you say, "Okay, I'm gonna figure it out." But inside you're terrified. That is the journey of
Mhm.
entrepreneurship, every new level. So if you're at the baseline level, you are in exactly the right place. This is totally normal. Okay, Fatima says my 58 is for my archived research articles. Okay, nice. I'm revamping my subscription tiers. It's taking longer than expected. Okay, remember I said it's dirt cheap right now for Kristen's. Go subscribe before she raises the price on the 20th. And you can get some ideas on how to structure the tiers. So if you
Mhm.
just want to make it up, if,
Yeah.
if it makes sense for you. Okay, some people are anti-subscription, totally cool. You can sell courses, you can sell one-on-one coaching. So if you know the subscription model is not right for you, I get that. Remember what I shared earlier? I said, I was thinking of making my annual $100,000 because people are going to look at that and say, "What?" But then we both are committing. Oh, it's like dating. We're just dating. I don't know that I want to get engaged for a year. So I knew I needed to work through that. Do I really want to commit? And here's the real question. You know the question under the question? Do I believe that I can meet my tier, my goal, which my goal for the first year is to earn $10,000 in subscriptions. That's my
Mhm.
goal. That's 101 people if I go on the route that I'm planning on going. Will 101 people want to come and learn about podcasting? Well, I already know yes. Yes, they will. So, what's the rub? I had to address that hurdle. I had to ask the real question, like, what am
Mhm.
I really afraid of here? That people won't show up. That's what we're always afraid of. You're gonna
Yeah.
throw a party and they're not gonna come. So, I mean, if you don't wanna commit to a year, then price your annual at $100,000 and see who comes in monthly.
Yeah, exactly. There's so many things that you can do. I saw someone who she had her monthly low first, but now her monthly, I think went to $79 a month, and her year is maybe only like, I don't know, 280 or 180 or
Yeah,
something like that. So, because she didn't want someone coming in just for monthly and grabbing her gold and then
yeah,
going out. So she priced it so the annual made more sense. And even for you, I mean, I've had so many questions of my clients of podcasting on Substack. That could be one of your paid tiers, like
yeah.
how to set up your podcast on Substack specifically, but then that thread gets pulled through to your podcasting course and program.
Yeah. Yeah, there are definitely a lot of different ways to do it. So it is in the meat grinder right now. I'm making sausage, so it's a messy business.
It
I
is. That's how you do it. That's how
I
you grow.
remember, let's see, my dad was Polish, and, he was one of 11 kids, and there were 3 sets of twins in his family, and his sister Dolores would make sausage, and we would go over and make sausage together. So I know it's messy and it's greasy, but it's good when it comes out the
Mhm.
other end. It's all good. So if you are making sausage, connect with us. We will make sausage together. We'll make something beautiful together, whether you need help with your business or your podcast or both. We are happy to be resources for you. And if we're not the right fit for you, we know other people who might be the right fit for you. If you've been here on the live, gosh, thank you so much for joining us. A fast hour for us. I hope that you're walking away with a win. And just because a live is about to end does not mean this is actually the beginning of our relationship. If we've just met, lovely to meet you. Let's stay connected. And if you have questions, then definitely send us a DM, give us a question, or just drop it underneath guess you can comment underneath this live. So delighted to connect with you. Thank you so much for joining us. Bye-bye, everybody.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.